Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday Night Raw, and we are kicking off with Ludwig Kaiser introducing Gunther. And there he is, ladies and gentlemen, Gunther. He is here, part of the Monday Night Raw roster. He'll be at Survivor Series, part of that Raw versus Smackdown matchup. But tonight, he goes head-to-head, 1-1 against Bron Breakker from Smackdown. Nick Aldis on Smackdown said, hey, there's a phone call between himself and Raw General Manager William Regal. And they said, hey, let's have an all-out build-up all the way up to Survivor Series. Let's build up some Survivor Series matches. And certainly for the Raw matches and the Smackdown matches, it feels like it's Wrestlemania. With two different nights of big-time matches. Certainly from top to bottom, there's a lot of intrigue, a lot of build-up for sure. And especially kicking us off tonight, the Ring General, Gunther versus Bron Breakker. Match is happening because Gunther would come out last week and put Bron Breakker through a table when Bron Breakker was defending his championship against John Cena. The plan was supposed to be Stone Cold Steve Austin going a certain way with taking out John Cena in an invasion of sorts, and well, certainly Gunther took stuff in his own direction with it. So there's bound to be a little bit of animosity in this, ladies and gentlemen, as here comes the badass Bron Breakker from Smackdown. The dogs are barking here on Netflix, ladies and gentlemen. Former undisputed champion is Bron Breakker here on the main roster, looking to get that championship back, but not tonight though. Not tonight, and not at Survivor Series. He's looking to beat the snot out of Gunther. Certainly Bron Breakker didn't want to lose his championship, but certainly the way he lost it with the help of with Gunther coming out obviously and attacking Bron Breakker, leaving John Cena to pick up the scraps for that 1-2-3 and becoming the new undisputed champion. And you can see Bron Breakker, he's already talking. He cannot wait for that bell to ring. This is a heavyweight matchup, ladies and gentlemen, on the go-home edition of Monday Night Raw. Gunther Breakker kicks off Monday Night Raw. Bron Breakker's wearing the right colors too. He's wearing red on the brand. As here we go, Gunther Breakker. We're in for a fight. Referee has rung the bell. Here we go. And here comes Breakker right out of the gate, coming right after Gunther. Big time knee right to the hip area, trying to slow down Gunther as much as he can here. I'm curious to see how one-sided this matchup is going to be. Will Bron Breakker just bring the fight to Gunther? Will Gunther be able to, slow down Bron Breakker whatsoever here? On for Gunther here, you got Ludwig Kaiser here, a part of Imperium. Maybe he's going to help out Gunther here. Try to slow down Breakker if he gets going too fast here. As now Breakker from the top, and big time frog splash. Pinfall early on. Will that be enough to put away Breakker, or put away Gunther? Ooh, that was 2.5. And Breakker again just going to town. On Gunther, just beating the snot out of him, and obviously as he should be, he's pissed off, losing his championship the way he did, coming out here now gets the opportunity to send a message to Gunther and anybody else, and almost like an accolade of sorts, trying to put away Gunther, trying to make Gunther tap out here. But now Gunther slipping out of it seems, and down goes Breakker. And now this is the first time in this matchup Gunther might be able to actually get some offense in here. Now Gunther gonna have him up, looking for some snake eyes. Bam! Right off that top turnbuckle. Oh, but Breakker with his own big boot there keeps himself in this matchup, and now Gunther with that nice takedown there of Braun Breakker. I think Gunther just warming up here, and maybe Gunther was allowing Breakker to, get some offense in here, and just gonna slow down Breakker now because he's using all of his stamina essentially. It's a big 2.5 there after that big axe handle from behind. I mean, this matchup could get very brutal if it needs to be. A little taste of Survivor Series, ladies and gentlemen. These guys are part of that Raw vs. SmackDown 4 vs. 4 matchup. And you know what, Survivor Series, usually the winners get some big time rewards coming out of that event. So I could only imagine what a Team SmackDown, what a Team Raw could get from their respective champions. Is it Royal Rumble incentive? Is it a title match incentive? You just never know. Look at the big boot right across the neck area. Takes down Breakker. And now Gunther up top. Big flying knee right across the chest. And now Gunther has all of the momentum. And now Gunther tossing Braun Breakker back inside the ring. That honestly could be enough to put him away. Now pinfall opportunity. Referee is in position. Ooh, not even a 2 count, just a 1 count. And now Gunther looking to put away Breakker here. Uh-oh. Gunther has him up. Bam! Big power bomb. Down goes Breakker. 2, 3. Gunther picks up the win over Braun Breakker. Breakker, I thought honestly was gonna, pull out the win, but certainly Gunther was able to obviously have Breakker waste himself and get himself tired maybe at times, and Gunther was able to obviously use that to his advantage. That flying knee to the outside, that desperately helped out his chances, but a big power bomb at the end. We'll see that in moments here, but look at Gunther. This flying knee right across the chest to the outside. That didn't feel too good. And now the finishing touches of this matchup. Gunther had Breakker up, and down goes Breakker. Big pinfall. 2 and the 3. And you're going to see a lot of that tonight. You're going to see Raw versus SmackDown tonight. Raw defending their turf early on here tonight on Monday Night Raw. Up next is the finals of the Raw Women's Tag Team Tournament. And now, ladies and gentlemen, up next is, like what we just mentioned, it is the final on the Raw side of things of the Women's Championship Tournament. The winner of this matchup will go on to Survivor Series this Sunday and go on to face the SmackDown winner in the Women's Tag Team Championship match. Team from Raw, team from SmackDown, we gotta have some winners. We're gonna find out who from Team Raw will represent Monday Night Raw. We have Lita and Trish Stratus taking on the team of Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Lita and Trish picking up a big win a couple weeks ago over Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair. And then last week here on Monday Night Raw, we had Bayley and Lyra Valkyria picking up a big win in the women's tag team division over Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. And certainly, this is the type of matchup that you see in terms of this is the past versus the current. The modern day talent. We'll see what is going to be the better. Will it be the WWE Hall of Famers, or will it be the current generation of talent? Will it be Bayley? Will it be Lyra Valkyria? And certainly, I think, like I mentioned, Bayley and Lyra Valkyria worked quite well recently on Monday Night Raw. But now, This is a whole different ball game. This whole different talent, and the amount of experience as well that Lita and Trish bring to this ball game. And certainly Lyra, her first championship very well could be the tag team titles. They just got to survive Lita and Trish tonight, and then obviously go to Survivor Series and take on the winner of that side of things. On the Smackdown side of things, this Friday on Smackdown, it will be the Judgment Day's Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez taking on the Wyatt Six's Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, who is the women's champion as well on SmackDown. In this episode of Monday Night Raw, ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to thank you for being here and joining us. It's going to be a stacked version of Monday Night Raw tonight. Your main event is going to be seeing a 6-man tag team main event, as it will be the New Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and Tongaloa, taking on the team of the OG Bloodline, Sami Zayn, and the Usos. And if you think Monday Night Raw's card is stacked, ladies and gentlemen, you should see the SmackDown side of things. We have massive match after match coming your way. And like I mentioned to begin Monday Night Raw, it feels like a WrestleMania card. Like a 2-night event WrestleMania. It's what you're feeling. You're seeing those different matches. You're seeing the Raw versus SmackDown matches. And normally matches you wouldn't ever get, because obviously the draft, you keep the superstars on Raw, keep the superstars on SmackDown, keep them separated, and the only time these men and women see each other is at Survivor Series time. But hey, you know, William Regal and Nick Aldis, Raw and SmackDown general managers coming together. They wanted to get a little build-up, a little taste of what Survivor Series is going to look like, and I think that brings that competition that these men and women love to have. As here we go, Trish Stratus is going to kick off for their side, and Lyra Valkyria will kick off. This is good. That's what you love to see here. And big kick early on to stun Lyra Valkyria real quick, like as they're going for a Hurricane Rana, but face buster takes down Trish Stratus. And my strategy going into this, or my thoughts going into this, is obviously, you know, Bayley is very experienced. Lita and Trish Stratus are very experienced. And you have this young upstart, Lyra Valkyria. How is she going to fit in this match against these other women, like Trish and Lita? How are they going to fare? And when times get hard in the matchup, can she continue to fight, scratch, and claw? As, look at Bayley with a little bit of a cheap shot here. And now Lyra Valkyria coming back and a little bit of a 2-on-1 situation here. Obviously, Bayley isn't afraid to get involved here. She wants to get those tag team championships at any cost. And obviously, we know Bayley over the last year or two, you know, damage control, and you know, she even had a different variation of damage control. She had the likes of Nia Jax, Sasha Banks, Naomi, and then they all kind of had a falling out. And then Bayley, you know, disbanded the group, and now she's in, you know, singles capacity now. But it seems like she has someone that I would say looks up to her, of sorts. And you know, Bayley, obviously there's a championship, an opportunity, and Bayley believes that she that the women's tag team division is something that she's always loved to have. It gives more opportunities for the women that don't necessarily get used all the time. And Bayley said, hey, it's a big opportunity, and she was able to see Lyra Valkyria. Maybe she can take her under her wing, but hopefully it will lead her in the right direction, not the wrong direction here. It's now Lyra, oh goodness, twisting that right shoulder. Almost got twisted out of the pocket there. And now into the corner. Oh, look at Bayley trying to get involved again, but that honestly might help Lyra at the end of this matchup. And now Lyra coming right after her. Bayley getting beat up again, but oh goodness, nice suplex, a back suplex, folding Lita like an accordion there. And now Bayley, the role model, wants to get back involved in this. And now Lyra going to toss her back inside the ring. There is no count out. These women can go all over the place if they want. There's a big frog splash there from Lyra Valkyria. And now Lyra not done. Big twisting gut wrench power bomb, but Trish Stratus is right there to save the day. The matchup continues. And coming later on tonight, ladies and gentlemen, still to come tonight, is another tag team matchup. But this, we have two singles champions teaming up, as it will be LA Knight and Sheamus taking on the Street Profits later on tonight. Obviously, a couple weeks ago here, we saw LA Knight, he's dealing with the Street Profits one-on-one with Apollo Crews. He would defeat Apollo Crews, and then obviously Montez Ford would attack LA Knight, and then all of a sudden Sheamus coming through the crowd attacking Montez Ford, leaving him taken out with a couple bro kicks, and even before that, even put through a table. But obviously Sheamus is a part of Smackdown. Seems like Sheamus is trying to be there for LA Knight, maybe some mutual respect between those two. But obviously tonight they're going to have to work together to take on the Street Profits here tonight. Coming up next, actually, here on Monday Night Raw. And certainly, LA Knight, Sheamus, obviously LA Knight, certainly in his prime, so is Sheamus, but obviously Sheamus just recently winning his first ever singles championship. He's a well-decorated tag team champion here in Universe mode, but to finally win his first singles championship, that means so much to him. He was able to, scratch and claw, and finally a moment, an opportunity came to fruition in that that Intercontinental Championship tournament, or I should say gauntlet matchup, and at the end of the day, Sheamus walked out victorious. And we'll see how that matchup is going to fare at Survivor Series as LA Knight versus Sheamus. But tonight they got to work together to put away the rest of the Street Profits. There's Lyra in the corner. Lita just finally getting up to her feet here. And now Lita going to look to go back at Lyra Valkyria. A little bit of a standoff of sorts. Back to a 50-50 matchup. Matchup's been pretty good so far. Back and forth here. Lyra Valkyria doing quite well for herself inside this matchup. Not really getting too much of a tag per se in this matchup. It's been all Lyra Valkyria. Lita looking to build up some momentum. She can go for a tag. I thought she would have stayed on Lyra Valkyria and take her out, and then maybe maybe get a tag. But hey, they are WWE Hall of Famers for a reason. As now Trish, big running knee into the corner. That could stun Lyra Valkyria possibly. Trish now gonna look to put her away. It's a big running bulldog there from Trish Stratus. That is vintage Trish Stratus. 2, 3. Bayley didn't realize that was gonna be enough to put away Lyra Valkyria, and just like that, Lita and Trish are going to Survivor Series. It is going to be obviously Lita and Trish versus either the Judgment Day or the Wyatt Six there at Survivor Series. Big win for Lita and Trish. They continue to impress. Lyra Valkyria, she was in this match more than expected, and certainly that could be a downfall of sorts. Probably some tension there for Lyra Valkyria not ever getting a tag into Bayley. They worked quite well last week. I don't know what was up with Lyra not wanting to get the tag or Bayley not wanting to get in the matchup. But certainly not the way that anyone really expected this matchup to go. At least maybe more competitive, at least getting Bayley in the side of things. But Bayley watches on as they lose this matchup, and Lita and Trish are going to Survivor Series there in Toronto, Canada. Certainly Trish is going to love to be in her home country of Canada, and certainly Lita will love to be there as well. And now Sheamus, LA Knight waiting for the Street Profits in the ring already. And here we go. We got ourselves an all-out brawl. Here we go. We're not waiting. We're jumping right into it as Dawkins lays out Sheamus there. Montez Ford and LA Knight going at it there briefly. The matchup has started. We just got back from our commercial break from LA Knight and Sheamus. Referee ringing the bell, and we're ready. We are ready for the fight, and now Sheamus coming right out. Dawkins, but Dawkins not going to allow this to go any further. Obviously, Street Profits not too happy with about being embarrassed by LA Knight and Sheamus these last couple weeks, and now Dawkins and Montez Ford looking to bring the offensive to Sheamus. Somebody from Smackdown. It's a big clothesline, takes down Dawkins early on here. As like we mentioned, Sheamus, LA Knight, one-on-one going at it at Survivor Series. Who is the better champion from the prospective brands? And certainly we're going to see a handful of, matches that are just, singles or tag team. And, obviously Sheamus, LA Knight, you're going to see the likes of John Cena versus Seth Rollins, champion versus champion. You're going to see the Dudley Boys in action as they take on American-Made's the Creed Brothers. Tag team versus tag team, champion versus champion. Is LA Knight going to work on that back of his neck there, slowly but surely? And certainly LA Knight not too happy about it. He's gone through Dawkins, and he's gone through Montez Ford, and even Apollo Crews. Or I should say Apollo Crews and Montez Ford. Pardon me. He's gone through most of the Street Profits so far. Oh, going for a neck breaker. Dawkins realized what was going to happen and was able to move out the way. Dawkins now big DDT, spiking him right on his face. And we'll see how Sheamus and LA Knight fare in this matchup, or see if they can walk out close to 100% after being attacked just moments ago to start this tag team matchup. And big takedown there of LA Knight into a frog splash. Could that be enough? As look at LA Knight, realizing he was in trouble, at least rolling to the rope so he could get out of a bad predicament there. And now Dawkins watches on as Ford works on that left forearm of LA Knight. And LA Knight, I think he's going to get cut off here. He's going to get cut off in this ring, and that puts LA Knight in a bad predicament. Is LA Knight? Uh-oh. This ain't going to end well. Oh, goodness, right there, that lower back. Certainly not what LA Knight and Sheamus were expecting tonight. They were expecting to work well, maybe at least pick up the win in this tag team matchup and then get ready for each other there for Survivor Series. But certainly having to deal with this attack early on is going to kind of make them work even harder, I would say. Worked a little bit more pissed off, I would say, as well. Let's look at Sheamus with those devastating Celtic strikes, and now just release slamming. That's not easy to do, especially Dawkins is a big boy. He's I'm not saying he's like fat or anything, but he's a big boy. He's a tall guy. He's he's a little bit average human being, probably over 200 pounds at least. And now, tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. That's going to stop any potential tags that Dawkins was thinking about doing. And now, big elbow strike right to the midsection right there. That is not going to be feeling good as well. Coming up next, ladies and gentlemen, it is your Women's World Champion Charlotte Flair from Monday Night Raw. She will be taking on SmackDown's Iyo Sky one-on-one as Dawkins being busted wide open after a big haymaker. The referee has started his count here. Look at this. What's he thinking about doing? Oh, this is not going to end well. Oh my goodness, dropping him right on his neck area. This is it. If I'm Sheamus, all you got to do is toss him in the ring, and it is game, set, match over. Referee is at a 7, pardon me, I can't talk. Sheamus high risk district going for the elbow. He didn't even need to do that. Could possibly cost himself this matchup, and Dawkins getting the tag, rightfully so, after being dropped on his neck. Now we'll see if Ford can pick up the scraps here. Maybe they can walk out victorious here tonight. Is now Ford going to work on that left knee, that left ankle of sorts, trying to slow down Sheamus, send him a message that they should not be showing up here on Monday Night Raw. It's a big splash, right to the ribs there. Back and forth we go, ladies and gentlemen. And now into the corner. But a big haymaker there from Dawkins. Dawkins was really looking forward to that strike to the face. And now Montez Ford, going for the senton, misses out there. Looked like Sheamus was close enough, but didn't work out. Sheamus still trying to figure himself out here. Still gives the Street Profits some time. Sheamus is still, like we said, a little dazed, a little confused there, down on the mat. And now, again, cutting off the corner. That's what the Street Profits need to do. And Montez Ford, here we go. Oh my goodness, what a maneuver! But now Sheamus gonna look to get the tag, and he does. LA Knight, the megastar, from behind, gonna look to make Montez Ford pay down. Goes forward into the pinfall opportunity. Are they gonna pick up a big win? No, just a 1 count. That was the moment the Street Profits probably could have won this matchup, but Sheamus, the veteran that he is, realized he's in a predicament. The adrenaline flowing through him. He realized he needed to get a tag, or the matchup very well could have been over. LA Knight going to the second rope. Oh, going all the way up top, dropping an elbow right across the head and neck area. Now Sheamus going to get tagged back in the ring. LA Knight going to allow Sheamus to pick up the scraps. Here we go. Oh, wait. But now Sheamus looking to steal one. Could you imagine Sheamus embarrassing the Street Profits and doing that? And now Sheamus tossing Dawkins right off the ropes there. I think he was expecting him to go over the ropes, but certainly Dawkins had something else in mind there. And off the ropes, going for the knee strike. I don't know if he was going for a bro kick, but it was not able to go anywhere. Sheamus able to block that missed opportunity there. And look at Montez Ford able to toss Sheamus up in the air. That is not easy as well. That's from the heavens. What a beautiful frog splash. Is that it? 1, 2, 3 it is. The Street Profits pick up a big win over LA Knight and Sheamus, and you can give themselves a big assist because of the pre-match assault. LA Knight and Sheamus were already in the ring, and they were waiting for the Street Profits, and the Profits, they weren't waiting. They ran right down and brought the fight to LA Knight and Sheamus. Obviously, LA Knight and Sheamus aren't an actual tag team, so certainly didn't go the way that they wanted, and ultimately it went downhill. The Street Profits looked pretty good in tag team action. Obviously, it's not against another tag team, but you know, they held their own here. As I thought this was going to be the downfall of the Street Profits. You see this, bam, right there, dropping him on his head and neck area. But ultimately, at the end here, eventually, but we'll look at this tag team maneuver real quick. Don't really see this too much from the Street Profits as he took him down from up top there. We would see a tag, and then it seemed like LA Knight maybe was going to change the trajectory of this matchup. Back and forth we went. Jump up all the way up top, dropping him with an elbow right across the head. But ultimately, the Street Profits would walk out victorious. Some momentum for them, even though they're not in Survivor Series, momentum for them that they desperately need. Welcome back to Monday Night Raw, ladies and gentlemen. We are getting set for our next matchup here. As you can see, Roman Reigns, Sami Zayn talking backstage. Roman Reigns talking to the honorary Uso as Sami Zayn leads the Usos into battle tonight against the new Bloodline Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and Tonga Loa. It's certainly a big-time matchup, but I'm sure they're probably just going over strategy and certainly getting themselves ready for obviously this Sunday, as well as Roman Reigns has a big tag team matchup on Friday Night Smackdown as he teamed up with the World Heavyweight Champion Seth Rollins to take on John Cena and The Rock. Iyo Sky making her way down to the ring, ladies and gentlemen, getting ready for her matchup against Charlotte, and Charlotte coming out and attacking her with the championship belt. Not going to allow somebody from Smackdown to come in here and have an easy passage to Monday Night Raw. Charlotte's going to make it hard on the competition. Charlotte sent a message on SmackDown recently, on the last episode of SmackDown actually, after Rhea Ripley's match with Ivy Nile. Charlotte came down in the ring and attacked Rhea Ripley. Seems like Charlotte Flair's head's continuing to get bigger and bigger every single time we see her, with just the amount of disrespect that she shows to her opponents. And yes, obviously we know Charlotte's, having Team Raw versus Team SmackDown going on. there at Survivor Series, but ever since winning that World Championship and never having the opportunity to go after the championship, Charlotte's been on a whole different level. And for her, it's brought her the win of taking down Jade Cargill and becoming that women's world champion. And obviously with Charlotte Flair not picking the likes of Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, and going with the newer ladies like a Natalya, Zoe Stark, and certainly Nia Jax as well. It's a whole different ball game. And you know what? Charlotte said, hey, I don't believe that they've earned that. I've beaten both of them. I don't believe that they would add much to my team. So we'll see at Survivor Series how that's going to fare for Charlotte, if for sure that's how it goes down. If for sure Charlotte can, may regret not picking those two. It's a pinfall opportunity from Charlotte, but just a 1 count. Now Charlotte going high risk here, high risk, high reward. Bad spot to be in if you're Iyo Sky. Big axe handle. I don't think Iyo Sky is there mentally right now after just being attacked. She's staying in the matchup, but right now she's been attacked. She just has not been able to get anything going. Charlotte coming out here, bringing her A game and sending a message to, if it's someone from Raw, Smackdown, it does not matter. She is planning on bringing that fight. Charlotte telling Iyo Sky to get up to her feet. I can only imagine what Charlotte might be thinking. For a second, I thought maybe she was thinking natural selection, maybe a spear there, but the matchup will continue. Let's see if Iyo Sky can get some offense going in here. Off the ropes, here we go, Iyo Sky. Ooh, nice flapjack type of maneuver, and now Iyo Sky is all fired up. Iyo Sky, the genius of the sky. Here we go. Going for the moonsault. Did not work out in her favor. And was that the last ditch effort for Iyo Sky in this matchup? Was that the maneuver that very well could have helped her put this matchup away? As now Charlotte, oh no, she not doing natural selection. She's trying to submit Iyo Sky. I don't think I've seen Charlotte Flair do this. She's trying to pull out some different maneuvers, which is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. As now Charlotte with a moonsault, trying to show Iyo Sky up, hitting it from that second top turnbuckle. The Queen has brought the fight. She's brought her A game, and now she has a figure 4. Will she branch into the figure 8 leg lock? Yes, she will. Iyo Sky in the middle of the ring. She has to try and get herself out of it, and she does actually. I guess I don't know if Charlotte just didn't have enough of it or what's going on there. And now Charlotte going to go back to work here on Iyo Sky. Going to try to connect with this stunner. Oh my goodness. Definitely looked like that was a knockout blow for sure. Charlotte now dragging Iyo Sky in the middle of the ring. Pinfall. Referee is right there for the 2. And oh no, just a 2 count. I thought that was going to be the knockout blow as Iyo Sky rolls at least over to the ropes to momentarily keep herself in this matchup. As now off the ropes we go, going for the spear. Iyo Sky able to move out the way, and now Iyo Sky, this is her best opportunity in this matchup to get back in it, but Charlotte is not going to have any of that. Back and forth we go, and look at these chops right to the chest, and now Charlotte gonna go back to work on the legs, gonna try to make Iyo Sky tap out possible. Hurting the legs as much as possible, but Iyo Sky's like, nope, not doing this anymore. Uh-oh, Iyo Sky gonna try to catch her off guard. Frog splash to the champ. Is this enough? 1, 2, oh, 2.9. Charlotte keeps herself in the matchup. Is now Iyo Sky telling Charlotte to get her up to her feet here. Iyo Sky, oh, nice drop kick. Takes her down in the middle of that ring. Back and forth we go. Iyo Sky's doing great now, trying to keep herself in this matchup. What a uppercut with that punch there. You're starting to feel Iyo Sky changing the trajectory of this matchup. This could be enough. Halfway across the ring, Iyo Sky, what is she thinking? Oh, another drop kick right to the center of the ring. And now Iyo again. Is she thinking? She thinking moonsault. She missed earlier. Not this time around. Iyo Sky, she walking out victorious. 1, 2. No, Charlotte kicks out. 2.5. This has turned out to be a phenomenal matchup between these two. Back and forth we go. This honestly feels like a championship match. Both these women putting it all on the line. Here's Iyo Sky with another frog splash this time around. Trying to work the midsection here. And now Iyo. Ooh, again, working the ribs. And Charlotte's like, I'm in trouble. I gotta at least get to the corner to try to recuperate, figure out something. Now she's in a bad predicament as eating a meteora, the double knees in the corner. Gonna go for the pinfall. She believes that's enough to put away the champ. 2, 3 it is. Iyo Sky has defeated Raw's World Champion. What a match. Charlotte Flair, she thought she had Iyo Sky multiple times, but Iyo was able to kind of duck and outmaneuver Charlotte Flair, ladies and gentlemen, and just like that, Smackdown picks up a massive win on their side of things, knocking off Charlotte Flair tonight. And that could mean some bad things for Monday Night Raw heading into Survivor Series. But on Friday Night SmackDown, this upcoming week, we're going to see some women going at it again. You're going to see Iyo Sky teaming up with Becky Lynch to take on Natalya and Zoe Stark of Team Raw. So we will definitely see Iyo Sky again. Definitely a big time matchup for sure. As look at this moonsault right there to the midsection. That is going to be hurting for sure, but it kept Charlotte in the matchup though. Iyo Sky with this brutal stomp to the ribs. I don't know how much more she could take, but this was towards the end of the matchup, the uppercut leading to the double knees from Iyo Sky, and essentially those were pretty much the knockout blows to put away Charlotte. Just not enough to keep the matchup flowing, and Iyo Sky is victorious. It's a big win for SmackDown, ladies and gentlemen, and we'll see how it's going to fare the rest of the night heading in to Survivor Series. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your co-main event of the evening. It is CM Punk from Friday Night SmackDown. He is here on Monday Night Raw as he goes one-on-one with the Viper, Randy Orton. And we're going to see these two going at it live there in Toronto, Canada. Part of that War Games match. It will be Raw, and it will be SmackDown inside of a War Game structure. It was advertised to just be a traditional 4 versus 4 matchup, but we're being told they're adding some stakes to that matchup and adding it to the War Games structure. Can't wait to see how this is all going to turn out, ladies and gentlemen. It is going to be a great night for Survivor Series, but like we keep mentioning, the Raw and SmackDown this week, it's a spectacular of sorts. Phenomenal cards from top to bottom. We're going to figure out who's going to the winning the finals and going on to Survivor Series to fight for the Women's Tag Team Championships that are currently vacated. And now also, you know, SmackDown, those big matches. You have the likes of Aleister Black and Uncle Howdy, Cody Rhodes, Stone Cold Steve Austin. You're going to see a main event like no other. Seth Rollins, the World Heavyweight Champion, teaming up with Roman Reigns to take on John Cena and The Rock. Plus, Drew McIntyre from NXT takes on Kevin Owens from Monday Night Raw. And just so much great professional wrestling action in the middle of your ring, not only tonight, but also, like we mentioned, on Friday Night SmackDown. And also, we got some big news for NXT this week as well, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to see the competitors from both the Drew McIntyre's NXT team taking on Triple H's team. You're going to see those guys going at it live on NXT. We'll announce the matches later on after Monday Night Raw. You're going to see the matches though, but it is going to be an all-out fight on NXT as well. So it's this whole week you're seeing Raw and NXT and SmackDown all going at it. It is going to be like we mentioned, a spectacular night of professional wrestling. It's a spectacular, phenomenal, every big word you can think of. And it starts on Netflix tonight, and it all goes through Friday Night SmackDown. But tonight, we get this banger of a matchup. Randy Orton, CM Punk, the Viper versus the best in the world. A taste of that War Games matchup between Team Raw and Team SmackDown. Cannot wait to see how that matchup is going to be, especially in a structure like that. Is very unpredictable, especially throwing in weapons, throwing in the steel cage, jumping off the steel cage. I mean, it is a structure like no other. And obviously those structures take years, months off these guys' careers, especially with the Hell in a Cell, the steel cage matches. It all adds up after a while. But we're going to see how this one-on-one contest, CM Punk from SmackDown, Randy Orton from Monday Night Raw, we're going to see a war. Two of the best to ever do it inside of a WWE ring. Randy Orton. Oh, wait, is Orton already thinking RKO early on here? Nope, he's not, just trying to tease the crowd a little bit. But certainly, ladies and gentlemen, CM Punk, he's had fair share of big time moments already in universe mode. Randy Orton has as well. Two legends in this business going at it. Randy Orton has been in universe mode for quite a long time, since pretty much the beginning. CM Punk returning a couple years back, started there in NXT and came all the way back to the main roster, and everything on the main roster and then even NXT has felt that presence ever since then. Because now Randy Orton gonna go for that pinfall, big opportunity here, but just a 1 count. No, look at Randy Orton, a little bit of an arm bar here. Different variation coming out of the moveset of Randy Orton. Really digging down deep, trying to send a message to CM Punk. So look at these big punches there. Stunning Randy Orton there briefly. Collar elbow leading to an Irish whip into the corner. And see, CM Punk's being very methodical on how he is. He's not trying to rush into things. As now he's bringing those punches to Randy, but Randy, after being punched just once, he's like, no, I'm not allowing this. As that is vintage Randy Orton. The backbreaker into the clothesline to the back of the neck combination. Now Randy Orton just going to try to be methodical on how he moves as well. And now bouncing him off the top rope. Down goes Punk, center of that ring. Still coming your main event tonight. You got the OG Bloodline versus the new Bloodline. This has been upgraded from a normal 6-man tag team matchup. It is now a 3-on-3 tornado tag team matchup. So going from a 6-man tag to a 6-man tornado tag team matchup, essentially. 3-on-3 though, obviously. As Randy Orton now looking to go high risk, big axe handle takes him down. Randy's just he's not having to do anything out of his comfort area right now. He's slowly but surely as well. Now Orton setting up CM Punk. Are we gonna see an RKO? Yes, we do. RKO, is that it? 2. No, and Punk kicks out. Punk kicks out at 2.5. How much more can CM Punk take right now, though? And look at Randy just twisting up that ankle and that left knee. And Orton trying to get this crowd all fired up. Orton again going to that place. Is he thinking about another RKO? No, he's not. At least not yet. And it seems like this might be Orton's match to win right now.
Punk can just not figure out Orton at this opportune time. And now again, Orton slowing down Punk. He's not allowing him to get going as well. That's a great thing that's Orton doing. You got to keep Punk on the mat. Punk's going to use those springboards or even those maneuvers from the top rope to his advantage. And now Orton. Ooh, nice neck breaker there from the Apex Predator, who's in tremendous shape despite all the injuries he's had over the years. As Orton now frog splash to CM Punk. Is that enough? 2, 3. Randy Orton with a big win tonight over CM Punk, and Punk's holding. Oh, you hate to see this. It looks like Punk is holding his right ankle. This is not good. Punk might have to get replaced for Survivor Series, ladies and gentlemen. That frog splash or something must have hurt him or something. Yep, there's Punk. That Punk with a cheap shot there to Randy Orton, and CM Punk sends a message to Randy despite losing here. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is main event time here on Monday Night Raw on the Go Home Show edition of Monday Night Raw, heading in to Survivor Series as Tonga Loa making his way down to the ring. We'll have Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa joining him momentarily for this 6-man Tornado Tag Team matchup. We saw Roman Reigns earlier on tonight talking to Sami Zayn, allowing the Honorary Usos to lead the charge tonight, leading Jey Uso, leading Jimmy Uso into the fray tonight. Sounds like Jey and Jimmy respect Sami Zayn and what he's accomplished, and respect that Sami Zayn going out of his way to help the Bloodline. Didn't have to get involved, but Sami Zayn is doing that, and certainly getting that Honorary Uso label certainly helps that out. And now here comes the Samoan werewolf, Jacob Fatu. This man's had some pretty good matches. Has fallen short up a little bit here and there, unfortunately, but they did pick up a big tag team win recently when it was Jacob Fatu and Solo Sikoa taking on the Usos. So certainly when you lose one, you want to pick up those big singles wins, but unfortunately for Jacob, necessarily he's had big matches and he's had good outcomes in the terms of what happens inside the ring, but he's just fallen up a bit short win and loss wise, losing those big time matches. But I think in those losses he's gained a lot of good experience and also showed this roster what exactly he's capable of. And something that I would not want to deal with if I am this main roster, especially if I'm a champion, if I'm a Seth Rollins, if I'm an LA Knight, if I'm a tag team champion as well, especially the Dudley Boys being the current tag team champions. And you're probably wondering why we haven't seen the Dudley Boys. Dudley Boys have part of their contracts, they don't have to be on every single Monday Night Raw building up to it, but certainly we will see them at Survivor Series taking on American Made live in that champion versus championship matchup. As now here comes the one problem, Solo Sikoa. Obviously came up a bit short, trying to become the tribal chief a while back against Roman Reigns, but certainly Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and the rest of the gang are certainly still a big problem on this roster. Roman Reigns is your tribal chief, the OTC, the only tribal chief, and certainly we'll see how far this whole rivalry is going to go out to. I mean, we've seen Hell in a Cell match with The Rock and Roman Reigns, with The Rock picking up the win in that matchup. We've seen a underground matchup with Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns. We've seen big time match after big time match with these members of this bloodline. We've already seen the advantage match with Jacob Fatu and Jey Uso, with the OG bloodline getting the advantage at Survivor Series. We've seen big time match after big time match, part of this OG bloodline versus new bloodline. We've seen that new, you could say, new blood being into this matchup. We've seen honorary Usos with Sami Zayn with the OG bloodline, Kurt Angle from obviously the new bloodline being the honorary Us over there. We haven't seen Kurt Angle for a bit. He's been out of action with an injury, so certainly that adds a little bit of the unpredictableness to the whole situation. But hey, there's a lot of members of the OG bloodline, obviously, and the new bloodline, so certainly everything's pretty deep, you could say. As now here comes a former undisputed champion, Sami Zayn, a man that has main evented WrestleMania. He's a former tag team champion, former undisputed champion, a man that a lot of people would count out, the underdog from the underground, but he's proved that he belongs. If you guys remember at Elimination Chamber last year, he would walk out with the championship. It came down to him and Cody Rhodes. Him and Cody were exchanging back and forth haluva kicks, crossroads, whatever it happened to be, and Sami Zayn just happened to be too much and happened to get the better of Cody Rhodes to walk out with the Undisputed Championship. He would take it to WrestleMania. He would walk out victorious. He would hold it for a couple more months before eventually losing it to Bron Breakker. But it took a second match between Sami Zayn and Bron Breakker for Breakker to defeat Sami Zayn. So certainly a lot going on, and especially with all that going on at the same time, he dealt with the shocking betrayal of his tag team partner and his best friend in life, that being Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens turning his back on not only Sami Zayn, but selling his soul to The Rock because of everything that was built up, because he didn't get a Intercontinental Championship match when Bron Breakker had it. And that was when Bronson Reed was going after the likes of Randy Orton and certainly Kevin Owens at that time. And Kevin Owens lost his matchup. It was Randy Orton's turn. Kevin Owens wanted to be a part of that matchup, and well, certainly that didn't happen. And Kevin Owens told William Regal, "You're going to regret this." And well, certainly he's probably regretting this, because Kevin Owens is he's been very very brutal. Obviously, that prize fighter mentality here in Universe Mode. As you got main event Jey Uso yeeting with the crowd here tonight on Netflix on Monday Night Raw. But certainly, what we saw last week with obviously the likes of Bronson Reed getting involved and Kevin Owens winning that matchup with John Cena coming out, and just it was a whole debacle there for Seth Rollins. But he will be on Friday Night Smackdown, ladies and gentlemen. Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns will team up once again in a first time ever matchup, as they will team up to take on John Cena and the final boss, The Rock. And certainly there's a lot of matches on this card that very well could be the main event. You got Cody Rhodes and Stone Cold Steve Austin. You got the likes of an Aleister Black and Uncle Howdy. You got Drew McIntyre and Kevin Owens. You got the finals of the SmackDown side of the Women's Tag Team Championship Tournament. You got so much going on, and it's just a lot to take in, man. That's what you love about professional wrestling. It runs deep. And now here comes Big Jimmy Uso, making their way down to the ring for this big-time Tornado Tag Team matchup. Who is going to head into Survivor Series with the momentum? Will it be the OGs, or will it be the new bloodline? Certainly, obviously, both teams obviously wanted, that makes sense. But, if the OG bloodline walks in with the momentum, and they already have the advantage, it's going to be pretty hard to get back into it. But you can't count out the new bloodline with the likes of Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, Tonga Loa. I mean, it's just big-time guys, and you can't forget about The Rock in that match. As I think I may have just seen a flying Jey Uso. I think he was just yeeting all over the place. He's flying. But, we'll digress there. As here we go. Main event has officially started. Solo taking out Sammy. Jacob Fatu taking out Jay with that big-time super kick as well. And now taking out Jimmy as well. Oh, and a big-time super kick again. It's going to be absolute chaos. This matchup is, ladies and gentlemen. We can't wait to see how everything is going to turn out for Survivor Series. 6 of these guys going at it. Only one team can walk out victorious. Let's look at this big splash to Jey Uso there. Sami Zayn and... Oh, Sami Zayn taking out Jacob Fatu. I thought Sammy was going to aim for Solo Sikoa, but did not. But now he is, and now look at Sammy coming right after Solo Sikoa. Looking to send a message to Solo as he drops him right on his neck area. But Tonga Loa right there to save the day, save the matchup. And now Fatu going to show you how dangerous he is as he's about to drop him right on his neck. Almost like a pile driver of sorts. And now Jacob, Big power slam from Tonga Loa as well. And got our first weapon of the matchup going to be introduced, but not being able to be used, is Tonga Loa with another scoop slam. We'll see if that's enough, but no, just a 1 count. Back and forth we go. And now the old trusty sledgehammer, ladies and gentlemen. But again, not being really used. As Jey Uso going to yeet with this crowd on Netflix. Takes down the big man, Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu. And just a bunch of chaos, ladies and gentlemen, on this edition of Monday Night Raw. Sami Zayn tossing that kendo stick right on the face of Solo as Solo gets taken out by Jay. And now you got maybe a 2-on-1 situation possibly. Nope, it's just going to be Jay and Jacob Fatu in the middle of that ring, at least momentarily. We'll see how this matchup is going to fare. Now Tonga Loa tossed in the ring here. And that's what I was going to say. You got to be careful when all these superstars are going outside the ringside and you have a one-on-one inside the ring, because they hit one big-time maneuver and it very well could be the end of this matchup. Is Jimmy Uso with a big sledgehammer to the lower back. Pinfall opportunity, it looks like. Shoulders are down. Referee right there in position, but just a 1 count. Solo Sikoa with the rake of the eyes. And a spinning Solo on the kendo stick. Jey Uso, super kick, no. Fatu saw it, takes him out the way, and now going to look to make him pay with a big power slam. And now Jimmy with a big-time spear. Double pinfall. What does this mean? Who hits the pinfall? Now switching it, but Jacob Fatu able to kick out of that, because obviously it seemed like Solo had the advantage in that pinfall. Oh, vicious headbutt right to the ribs there. The matchup continues. There's a lot of back and forth here. Solo Sikoa, Samoan spike right there to Jimmy Uso. Pinfall. Is this it? 1, 2. No, 2.5. Jimmy Uso kicking out after a absolute devastating Samoan spike. And now Jacob Fatu has a kendo stick and looking to go to town on his opponent here. And now Tonga Loa with a pinfall opportunity, but Jimmy Uso just able to break it up before eating a kendo stick shot. Jey Uso keeps himself in this matchup, keeps his team in this matchup a little bit longer. Now Jacob Fatu going to go for that pinfall opportunity. Not enough. Tonga Loa flying just because he wants to. You got basically a 3-on-1 situation. Jey Uso going to get bullied out here as Jacob Fatu misses that axe handle. I don't know why he just didn't go for a frog splash of sorts. But now, got yourself a 2-on-1 situation. Now it's a 1-on-1 situation inside the ring between Jay and Solo. Brutality at its finest, and now, oh wait a minute, Solo looking to fly, has his sights on Jey Uso, it looks like, but no, he realizes Jimmy's right there, able to take down Jimmy with that, I guess not a neck breaker, as a running power slam, but it's all out carnage in this middle of this match. Kendo sticks, sledgehammers, as a spinning solo again from Solo Sikoa. Uh-oh. Is it time for a Samoan spike here? Samoan spike to Jey Uso. And now Sammy gonna get tossed back inside the ring. And Jacob Fatu takes out Jey. You got Tonga Loa trying to beat Jimmy Uso. Oh, Sami Zayn saves the day just barely. But just for his effort, Sami Zayn eats a kendo stick shot. The OG Bloodline right now are in trouble, it seems. All of them are down. Sammy's being attacked. Sammy's trying to fight, but it's an all-out brawl right now. It's hard to stay in this matchup. Pinfall opportunity. Is this enough to put away Jimmy? Yes, it is. The new Bloodline knocks off the OG Bloodline just days away from that big-time event that we have for War Games, that Survivor Series War Games, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of back and forth here. You see Jey Uso trying to go for a super kick, take out Jacob Fatu. A lot of stuff going on at the same time. The double pin attempt. Solo Sikoa would strike with a Samoan spike here, right in the middle of the ring. It just absolute chaos was this match. Kendo sticks, sledgehammers, anything you could think of was used in this matchup. Absolute carnage, as you can see in the ring there, as Tonga Loa continued to bring the fight to Jimmy there. But again, just absolute chaos. Jacob Fatu with the sledgehammer to the lower back. Solo picked up the win over Jimmy Uso, pinning Jimmy Uso. And this is what the old, or I should say the new Bloodline, want heading into it. Yes, they don't have the advantage, but hey, they get some momentum heading in to that very match. I know we just lost, but I'm not worried. I'm expecting our boys to rebound, and coming this Sunday at War Games, us OGs will be putting down this new Bloodline, this new upstart group once and for all. Then we can focus on bigger and better things, like me becoming World Heavyweight Champion again and bringing back the World Championship back to my family. WWE Universe, I can promise you this. I will make sure that this new Bloodline will acknowledge me and my family, the other side of my family. They will all acknowledge me. And wait a minute, that's The Rock, the final boss. He found Roman Reigns. He found him. And now Rock seems like he's trying to end Roman Reigns. Reigns might not even be able to make it. And this is the WWE archives, ladies and gentlemen. They are fighting on top of the Smackdown fist from the early 2000s. Rock not playing around here. He's desperately trying to toss his own flesh and blood over the top as a rock bottom on top of the damn fist. This ain't gonna end well for somebody, but again, Roman Reigns knows what he wants to deal with. Again, The Rock with a premeditated attack, finding him in the backstage area, and now The Rock, the final boss. No, don't you even dare, Rock. Don't you even dare. Oh, thank goodness. I mean, it's not even better, but honestly, he's able to at least keep himself afloat from up top here. It's again Roman Reigns. He knows The Rock is literally trying to kill him right now. And oh my God. Again, The Rock is not playing around, ladies and gentlemen. This seems like he is literally trying to end it right here. But again, Roman Reigns keeps himself again. The Rock, he's desperate, it seems like, at this opportune time. Again, it just won't happen. Roman Reigns does not feel like being jumped or thrown off the edge, and do you blame him, ladies and gentlemen? Again, over and over again, The Rock is desperately trying to get this to work out, but it's not going his way. Look at these big, haymakers right to the ribs, into a massive drop kick as well. The Rock is not playing around. This is absolutely heinous. Again, The Rock desperately wants himself to be able to toss him over. And wait a minute. Uh-oh. No. Well, he tosses him on the grate. He just tossed him on the grate. He was trying to toss him over the edge. But certainly, tossing him on the grate is one step closer, I suppose. And literally, I would say stop, but he's got a stop sign right over the face of Roman Reigns. Again, this is just absolutely heinous, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, no, wait. Reigns somehow moving. I don't know how. And a spear. A spear. I don't know how he's moving. He just got thrown off the side onto the grating. And now The Rock gets tossed off. Talking about brutality. That is absolutely brutal. And now Reigns. What is Reigns thinking about doing here? Uh-oh. Roman Reigns looking for a crucifix. Crucifix to The Rock. The final boss. The final boss has been put through a damn table. This ain't gonna get any better. You can say that right now, ladies and gentlemen. Uh-oh. Inside Roman Reigns, a spear to The Rock. The attack from The Rock backfires tonight to end Monday Night Raw. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we'll see you on NXT.